Now choose the template size that you want to make this lantern. Now you print this out onto the very thin paper, rubbish paper. You can even have writing on the back. You can use this template time and time again, but you can see where the lines are, the dotted lines, that's where you crease. Where the main lines are, that's where you cut out. Now I've printed everything out ready, and I've chosen this like metallic metal riveted, make it kind of an old-fashioned type lantern here. And what I've done, if I turn this over, you can see I've just trimmed around roughly the templates, so I've left and positioned it on here so I know exactly where I want it, but I've also got all these extra bits here that I can use on another project if I want. So first of all, what you need to do is just score through all of the dotted lines. Next we're going to cut the lantern out, and I like to start with the aperture in the middle. Steel ruler and my scalpel. I've now cut out the template. You can use that template again if you wish. And here's my basic design here. Now decide which side you like the best, but try and keep them all the same. I'm going to do it that way, so I want these to fold inwards like that, so just crease everything and just fold it over. Now that's going to be the front there, so that needs to fold in this time, like so. And that's going to fold backwards like that. So there's my first one, and I've done two of those, two with the handles, and I've also got two here, the sides. There's your sides, the two sides, and I've also done the base as well, which it'll stick together. So all you've got to do now is glue those together. Now I've cut them all out and I've creased them all and bent them there, and I'm just laying them out so they're going to be stuck together in the right order. I've got these two here opposite each other, which are going to have the hole cut in to hang them with. So everything's okay, so I can now start gluing together. Just move those two, and the way I do it is like this. I just fold that over there, and then I take my glue, and you need a good strong glue or a tape, using my trusty 3-in-1 here, and just a little bit of glue there, then butt this up to it like that, and then fold it over so it's in exactly the right place. That folds back there like so, and then do that with the opposite side and repeat that on all the four sides of the lantern. Now I've stuck all the sides to the base here. Now it's just a case of sticking all the sides together, and I'm just taking one of the edges here, and again using my really good bonding glue, just put a seam down there, and then just lift it up and stick together. You can just slide that into position, hold it for a few seconds. Great thing about this glue, it just grips it straight away, gives you a little bit of jiggle time. So exactly, if you run your finger up here, the seam here in the corner, you can tell whether it's together or not. And I just like to leave that a few seconds and then repeat with all the other sections. Now these two flaps just fold in like that, and these two are going to come together. Now you could just stick those if you wanted to, but I'd like to open it up. So I'm going to put a piece of ribbon, or you could use string or chain or anything. And I've just got one of these little hole punches. You could use a bradawl or anything. You can mark it exactly if you want, but I'm just doing it by eye. Just cutting a little hole out, turn it over and try to match that up. Like so. Two little holes, and then all I've got to do is thread some ribbon through there to hang it up. Now I've got one of the lanterns that are already pre-printed here. You print out the design straight onto the template, and you do that with all the different sides on the bottom, etc. Then it's just a question of cutting this out and scoring it. Now you've got these dotted lines. Wherever the dotted lines are, the coloured bit in between, you just put the lines across there, and then you're just going to score it. So when you cut it out, that bends easily. Now I've cut out all the sections here. Make sure when you do cut them out that you leave these little extra white bits on. All you've got to do is when you cut it, just leave the white on, because they're going to fold over and adhere to the base of the lantern. Now just one point here, when you print out your templates with the printed side on, if you want, I've not done in this case, but you could print another design on the back, or just a plain orange or a black, so you get it two-sided if you want. But I don't think it's necessary with this one, because what I'm going to do is I've actually got some acetate that I've printed onto one of the designs. This one says Boo, and I'm going to cut those out and insert them in there, so they become like little windows. So when you put your battery operated candle in there, you've got like your Halloween effect lights coming out there. Now all you've got to do is, before you do that, we're going to fold all the sections, stick those panels in the middle, and then we're going to assemble it all. Now when you stick this down, make sure you turn that upside down. This one's got writing on saying Boo, so you don't want that on the inside. You need to turn that over and then stick that down. Because it's quite a geometric shape, you just need to stick it so it fits in there perfectly. Now before you stick it together, make sure you just lay it out, make sure it's all going in the right direction. You want everything to mirror and match. For example, if I take those two out, you can see I'm going to stick those two down first, and they're the ones which have got the flaps on the top for hanging. So all it is, you do now, you take your base, you fold that over, and you just apply a little glue and stick them all together first. Now I've stuck all the four sides together here, as you can see, and now to cover this, to make it look a bit neater, on this side you can see I've got the base, and I'm going to put this on the inside as well, just the same size as square, and just a little bit of glue and stick that down. Now all you have to do is start sticking all the sides together, and you just fold your first one over there and glue it. and just gently stick those two together like so. The glue's really good, holds it in position, that gives you time to jiggle it about and get it exactly where it should be. And if you run your hand down this side here, you can feel whether it's overlapping or not. Just give that a minute or two just to dry before you attempt the other corners. Now you could obviously just stick those two together, but I want to be able to put a candle inside, well not a real one obviously, but a battery operated one, or you could fill it up with sweets and then use it as a lantern afterwards. So I'm going to put some little holes in the top, and you could either use a bradawl or something else, but I've just got one of these cutters here, hole cutters, and try and position it. You can mark it wherever you want first, but I'm just doing this by eye, so I'll get it in the right place. Just make a little hole on both sides. So all you have to do now is just thread through some ribbon. I'd have like some black ribbon or some orange ribbon here, but I've only got some white ribbon handy. And just thread through. These then go together. Try and get this equal either side, because when you tie the bow you want it to look a bit respectable. Those two go together like that, which will naturally happen when you tie the bow. So that just ties like that, and you can see how that's come together. Tie it into a bow. Now, as I said, you could fill that with a present, you fill it with sweets, you can do all sorts of things and then use it as a lantern afterwards. And there is your perfect Halloween lantern.